Hi and welcome everyone to a Windows 365 roadmap plus deep dive session. My name is Sune Thompson, and before I hand it over to Christiaan, who's the principal program manager for Windows 365 and the community lead, I have the honor of mentioning a few reminders. First of all, your mic is muted during this session. Please ask questions in the Q&A. We will try our best to answer the questions during the session or in the Q&A at the end. This session is being recorded, so feel free to leave if you don't want to be recorded. With that said, I'm going to hand it over now. Welcome, Christiaan. The stage is yours.
Thanks, Sune. Thanks for the great introduction, as well as for the invite to be here. I'm very excited to share our roadmap with all of you, as well as to take a deep dive into new features, as well as future-looking demos and features we announced earlier this week. So I always sort of prepare my presentations in a way that if I was sort of an IT consultant or an architect sitting in the audience, that I would like my own presentation. So there's a lot of technical depth in my presentation that I hope you like and enjoy. And just let's get started and don't waste any more time. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. Sune will answer them, and I will take some time at the end of this presentation to do them live, and then we can have an ongoing conversation about it as well. So as Sune was saying, I'm Christiaan Brinkhoff. I'm part of the Windows 365 engineering team. So I'm owning Windows integration, as well as clients, as well as everything related to community. So you can find me on like LinkedIn and Twitter, and you can see a video podcast on YouTube as well, which I'm leading and hosting. So hopefully we can stay connected after this session. So let's get started. And first off, I want to share some of the principles, as well as the vision of Windows 365 and what is different from Windows 365 to other like virtualization technologies in the market or Azure Virtual Desktop and such. And before I do that, I really want to take a step back and explain the quote that Satya Nadella shared with the audience of Microsoft Inspire when we announced Windows 365 to the public world, which was last year in July. So he said, with Windows 365, we are creating a new category, the cloud PC. Just like applications were brought to the cloud with SaaS, we are now bringing the operating system to the cloud with Windows 365, leveraging the scalability of Azure Compute. And that's exactly like what Windows 365 is and what it will be in the upcoming future more and more. It will bring the simplicity of a SaaS solution to end users, to IT admins in a way that has never been done before, meaning that Windows will integrate components of Windows 365 to make it as easy as it is to use a local Windows PC to connect to a Windows PC, a cloud PC in the Azure Cloud data centers. So how that all works and how it is different from other technologies is something I will show you. So you will get the knowledge out of this session that you need in order to either implement it yourself or have a good conversation with somebody else about, hey, what is Windows 365 all about? So two things that are very important that are delivered on the promise that we have as part of the principles of our product is that Windows 365 is a complete SaaS solution. And as part of that, we deliver a personal, powerful, simple, and secure Windows 10 or Windows 11 experience from the cloud on any device, meaning from the IT admin as well as from the end user. We deliver familiarity, like consoles that you're familiar with, as well as a simple end user experience that is identical to Windows 365 and very easy and straightforward to use. So on the left side, you see loved by users, meaning that the web client is very easy, straightforward. You can easily find it on windows365.microsoft.com if we talk about the web portal experience. And we just announced the Windows 365 app, which is the app for Windows, specifically for Windows 365 as well. And I'm going to show you more on that later on as well. And trusted by IT, meaning that you don't need any extra expertise that you already have as part of managing a physical PC. The same tool, Microsoft Endpoint Manager, the Admin Center portal, can be used to create, manage, deploy, maintain, and as well do security policy, compliance rules and such, how you do it for a physical PC as well as for cloud PC. So trusted by IT means the same consoles, the same knowledge can be leveraged. So you don't need an extra IT admin organization department team that does like virtualization consoles separately. It all merges into the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center console. If we talk about the Windows 365 enterprise product, we have as well the business product. So Windows 365 splits basically in two categories, two license versions, and one is business, one is enterprise. And everything around Microsoft Endpoint Manager is sitting in the enterprise bucket. We have as well Windows 365 Business to address the need for hybrid remote work from any device for small, medium businesses, because virtualization has been for small, medium businesses. With the Windows 365 Business, we bring a subset of the Windows 365 Enterprise Suite to small, medium businesses from 1 user up to 300 users, meaning that if you are just a small shop or a freelancer and you want to leverage a cloud PC, you can easily do that with the business product. You don't need MEM for that as well. So for enterprise, you would need Intune license like EMS or Microsoft 365 E3, and of course the Windows 365 license, which I'm going to explain in the next slide. But with the business, simplicity is even higher in mind because we know
And I'm afraid that we lost Christiaan. Oh no. Christiaan, I think we have some connectivity issues.
Can you hear me again?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay. Somehow Zoom lost connection here, so I need to reconnect my PC. Give me a sec. And then we just continue where we left off. Let me know if you can see my screen again soon.
I can see your screen now. Thank you, Christiaan.
Okay, great. Let's continue where we left off.
Yeah.
So for the business product, as I said, simplicity is even higher or more important as the enterprise product, because for businesses, small, medium businesses, the IT department is not as big as for an enterprise, meaning that most likely the office manager or just a person working at that company is as well all of a sudden the IT consultant or architect or accidental administrator. And with that in mind, we created a simple concept around managing your Windows 365 Business Cloud PCs from a very simple onboarding and administration perspective. So I will show you how that works in some next slides and some demos that I prepared for you. So it's just as easy as just assigning a license, and then that cloud PC is available for that end user. So everything is cloud agnostic or cloud centric, and only the business product is only working based on Azure AD Join, meaning that you don't have to deliver an on-prem AD or any requirements for an on-prem network connection. It's very straightforward and all full built from natively in the Microsoft clouds. So for the enterprise product, you have more capabilities. We target 300 plus licenses, so that's 300 or thousands or 10,000s of Cloud PC users at the same time, all managed via the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center console. For both products, we support Windows 10 and Windows 11, all personal, meaning that you are, as an end user, the owner of the Cloud PC. Another thing that you can do with the enterprise product is that you can connect to on-prem backend services. So you can do that either via hybrid Azure AD, or since 2 months as well with the public preview of Azure AD Join, which goes in GA next month in the May month. So looking forward to see that shipping in GA next month as well. But you can use it today in a public preview inside the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center console already. You can manage more based on groups, so it's more scalable to attach Azure AD groups, just like you do for application delivery rules or compliance rules inside the MEM as well. You can use custom images if you are a VDI user customer and you have custom images and you want to use it as part of Windows 365 as well. You can easily do that with the enterprise product, and it's a very rich end-to-end solution, meaning that for the enterprise product you get all the MEM components, such as monitoring via Endpoint Analytics, as well as all the other components that you get with MEM and the integration that you can do on top of that. For example, if you have Microsoft 365 E3 or E5, you can integrate Microsoft Defender directly into your cloud PC, all the same as how you do it for a physical PC. So as I said, we deliver on the promise to make that IT admin experience as simple as it is for managing a physical PC as well for a cloud PC. So the licenses that we support today are listed in here. So you can access a cloud PC from any device, any operating system, so Windows, Mac, iOS, Android, as well as Linux. If you have a Linux endpoint device that can connect to Azure Virtual Desktop, you can do that as well to Windows 365. So we do that from desktop, laptops, tablets, phones. It's all supported. So very flexible to meet where the customer wants to be and wants to work from any device. Windows 10 and Windows 11 is supported, as I said, from a personal Windows experience manner, meaning that you are the owner as an IT admin as well as end user of the C drive, meaning that if you log on, you come at the same cloud PC back, and as well the operating system disk. Everything you change there is persistent, meaning that you are the owner and everything that you do on that machine is it's like chained to the user account. And we do that for different sets of licenses. So we have 2-core, 4-core, 8-core licenses with different sets of RAM and operating system disk sizes. So you have like the size that fits to your needs. So you can just select a size that sort of represents where you come from a physical PC or from an like virtualization scenario, for example. And we are currently working on GPU SKUs as well. So in the next upcoming future, you will see GPU SKUs shipping in our service with, for example, the latest GPU technology that's available on Microsoft Azure. So we are working on that. So stay tuned on our public-facing roadmap to learn more about that soon. So what about the latest features that we announced? So just a quick recap here. So we announced and released the public preview of the new web client experience. So that's the new web portal, which gives you redirection control and keyboard layout settings identical to Windows 365. So if you go to windows365.microsoft.com and you log on and you have a cloud PC, that experience is completely new, and we are moving into the direction of getting that into a GA state as well. So that's pretty cool and creates a very fast, seamless experience that is better than other solutions in the market today. Native Azure AD Join is available in a public preview for the enterprise product. It was already available for business. So that means you don't need a domain controller anymore or an Azure subscription or a VNet. All very easy. You can just from your couch provision a cloud PC, and then you're good to go after like 20 to 30 minutes, and you can log on to your Windows 11 or Windows 10 cloud PC from your phone, for example. Windows 11 experience, we released Windows 11 support on the 5th of October. So Windows 11 is completely supported with all the security benefits and VTPM chips, secure boot, and all those capabilities that you get as part of Windows 11. We support it natively. So whatever device you use, we support Windows 11 from any device. So if you have an endpoint that doesn't have a TPM chip, you can just use Windows 365 and use Windows 11 from that device. So very easy. And we have images that we maintain and update every month for you from the gallery that you can leverage. And we have as well security baselines that you can leverage that are supported for Windows 10 and Windows 11. And on the management side, we release improvements for Windows 365 Business to make it easier to provision Windows 10, 11, or go standard user or administrator as a default setting for the user rights in the cloud PC. Or you can change as well the preference of having the default operating system if you configure and provision a cloud PC for the Windows 365 Business product. So this has all been released, and one thing that has not been added but has been released yesterday is nested virtualization support for Windows 365, meaning that in Windows 365 Enterprise for the 8-core license, you now get a Cloud PC virtual machine assigned that supports nested virtualization. So if you want to run Windows subsystem for Linux or Android or Hyper-V or Sandbox, that's all supported in that license. So that's hot off the press, and US GovCloud support is currently being worked on. That's coming soon as well. Image management experiences, like localized experience, is something that is available right now in public preview, meaning that you can change the language of the Cloud PC during the provisioning flow. I will show you that as well, how that works. It's very straightforward, and it means that if you work from Denmark and you want Danish as your Cloud PC language, you just need to flip a switch, and then that provides the language inside the Cloud PC without creating custom images or having that difficulty of creating an image and wrap it up and do all those things manually. This all works out of the box as part of our service. Reset the VM is something that will be coming soon to Enterprise, already available in Business, meaning that you can reset your Cloud PC to the original state. And point-in-time restore is something we shipped as well in public preview, so you can restore your Cloud PC back to a previous state in time. If you, did something wrong in your Cloud PC or lost data or had a virus attack or installed any corrupt data application that destroyed your Cloud PC in a way that you need to recover, that's all available as well. And we are currently working on enhancements on top of the existing Endpoint Analytics metrics in the dashboard to do alerting, connectivity health checks and such, that make it possible that if there's something happening in your environment, you get an alert or can provide an action to it, like resize or do any other proactive recommendations to make sure that you fix issues in your environment without any IT admin interaction as well. So regarding Microsoft Teams, because we leverage the components of Azure Virtual Desktop, all the improvements that are coming to Azure Virtual Desktop are coming to Windows 365 as well. So we are almost finished to get background blur inside Microsoft Teams as part of Windows 365. Multi-window support as well, meaning that you can open a chat separately from the main application inside your Cloud PC. Call me, live captions, transcripts, give or take control, as well as support for Mac is something that will come available very soon. And the calling optimizations for macOS are already available today in a public preview, so you can find the documentation for that to use Teams on a Cloud PC from Mac with a peer-to-peer connection from the endpoint directly to the other side for the best experience as well on documentation, just like you are using for Windows today as well. So here you see a quick demo of the background blur feature in Teams for Cloud PC. So you can just select blur, and if you have, some garbage behind your desk that you want to avoid to show to the other side, you can now hide that easily via this feature. And more features to like narrow the gap from teams on a physical PC are coming more and more. But this set of features that I just explained is pretty much narrowing the gap. What was like the top 5 priority list of feedback from customers in. So we are very happy to see that landing into the platform. So with that, I really would like to transfer into the sort of demo section of this presentation and take you on the journey of all the configuration items for Windows 365 Business as well as Enterprise, as well as the new features that we recently announced during the Windows Commercial event that Panos and Satya did as part of the announcements of Windows 365 boot, switch, offline, and as well the app, of course. So let's first explain you how Windows 365 works. And of course, you're all probably very interested in learning about the Endpoint Enterprise product to do it in Endpoint Manager. But I want to show real quick as well how easy the Windows 365 Business solution is, because it could be that you need to do some work for a smaller business, and then the business product maybe is a better fit. So you have at least a good understanding on what the differences are and how easy Windows 365 Business is as well for IT admins and end users to connect to. So it all starts with the Admin Center portal. So that's where you purchase a license just like you do for Exchange Online. So if you go to the Admin Center portal to billing and then purchase services, in the beginning of this console, you see the category Windows 365. And in there, you can just select the license you want to use. And the license is the size of the cloud PC, meaning 2 cores, 4 cores, or 8 cores. The 1 core, 2 gig of RAM license will not be available anymore because that is not aligning with the Windows 11 requirements in the future. So we will decommission that one. And here you see the licenses for Enterprise. So they are all the same price. The only difference is that for Enterprise, you would need as well an Intune license, which you most likely already have via Microsoft 365 E3 or an EMS license that you have. So then you purchase the license, and for the business product, then you need to assign that license to a user. And the new console that we have as part of the Windows 365 Business Admin Portal experience is what you see here on the screen. And the great thing is that you can create a user, assign a license of Windows 365 to that user, and then in like 15 to 30 minutes, that Cloud PC is ready. So it's just as easy as just assigning a license and create a user, and then you're good to go to use that Cloud PC. So all that like complexity in between is something we automated. And that Cloud PC runs in a Microsoft managed environment, that it runs in a subscription environment that we all manage as part of the SaaS offering we have. So we ensure the availability, the connectivity, as well as the performance of that Cloud PC. So it's all part of that SaaS offering. So here you see that I'm creating a user as well as assign a license. And that's all I need to do. And after that, I'm done. And then I can log on with my cloud PC. So other things you can do in the Windows 365 Business product right now is that you can update organizational settings. What I said earlier, you can make the user a standard user, which is default, or make the user local admin, or you can change the operating system version, whether Windows 10 or 11 is the default as part of that Cloud PC. So all kinds of new settings and more settings to enhance the provisioning flow for business will be added soon as well. So think about, for example, the localization settings with language packs and such. They will unlight in this feature as well soon. So that was like Windows 365 Business. Very easy, straightforward, as I said earlier. So a great way to have a hybrid remote working technology from any device for small, medium businesses up to 300 licenses. But what about the enterprise version, right? Like how enterprises in the Microsoft Endpoint Manager Admin Center portal. So it is for an modern workplace administrator as easy as it is for configuring a physical PC. And everything you need to know starts in the devices menu under provisioning and then Windows 365. So if you want to configure a cloud PC for Windows 365 Enterprise, you first, of course, need to purchase the license. So that's the same. Assign that license to a user or to an Azure AD group and make that Azure AD group sort of the dynamic way of assigning a license and provision a cloud PC. And after that, you need to create a provisioning policy, meaning that you need to provision the cloud PC for that specific user. And that includes some settings like where is the location of that cloud PC? Do you leverage Azure AD Join, hybrid? What's the language? What's the image? What's the version of the operating system? And that's something I will explain you right now. And that's very easy as well to do. But a little bit more enterprise grade because there are more features that enterprises need in order to use Windows 365. So here I'm going to provision Carl's Cloud PC. You see it's not provisioned Cloud PC, meaning that Carl has a license, but not yet a provisioning policy assigned to him. So that's something I will do right now here. I create a new provisioning policy, servicing tax Cloud PC as a department. You can add a location name in here as well. I will pick Azure AD Join and hosted network as the configuration to host the network as a SaaS offering for my end user, meaning that I don't have to deliver an Azure VNet or an Azure subscription or whatsoever. You can connect as well via an on-prem network connection. So that's something you can configure via site-to-site VPN or ExpressRoute or something like that. The image where you select Windows 10 or Windows 11, and here you can see the Windows localization settings. So English is of course what the vast majority is using, but you can do Dutch or Danish or German. All those languages are supported. So after the provisioning process finished, you will see that language popping up inside the Cloud PC. So then you assign it to an Azure AD group. It's easy to do that based on a group that has the license, and then the only thing you need to do is add that user inside that group, and then the license as well as the Cloud PC will automatically light up. So no IT admin interaction would be necessary to create that Cloud PC. It's a very easy and efficient way to do, or ask, for example, an HR person to add just a user in that group. And then that Cloud PC will be ready automatically once that provisioning policy has been pre-created. Just in a matter of like 20 or 30 minutes. So here you see that the Cloud PC of Carl is now in a provisioning state, and in, for example, as I said, 20 to 30 minutes, that Cloud PC will be ready to use. And then the user can go to windows365.microsoft.com and then log on to the Cloud PC. So that's pretty straightforward. Then the user sees their Cloud PC specifics and can do like reboot, rename, and all kinds of self-service management options in there. And once that all proceeds, you can see Windows 11 running inside a browser. You can use as well the client for Windows on the endpoint that you can push via MEM2, and all the requirements of Windows 11 will be enabled for this Cloud PC as well. So very straightforward and easy to use. So what about the new features? Like this web client portal experience is great, but we just announced some new features that will even more simplify the experience and improve as well the end user experience for scenarios when you use Windows. So I will show you how that all works and what those features are in a bit. But before I do that, I would like to highlight some of those new features that we shipped in the last 4 weeks before the announcement last Tuesday. So one of the things we announced is point-in-time restore. So with point-in-time restore, as I said earlier, you can restore a Cloud PC to a previous state in time. So you see that over here. If you go to User Settings and then click on Add, you can add a rule that gives you the flexibility to configure what the frequency of the restore points are, and as well if you want to allow your end users to do restoring the Cloud PC themselves as well. You can also block that, so only IT admins are able to do a restore to a previous point in time. So once you do that, you can go to the portal again, and then you see the restore option if your IT admin allow that. And here you can restore to a previous point in time. So you can go like 7 days back, and then click on that option, and then the Cloud PC reboots and then restores automatically, and then you're good to go. So a highly requested feature, and we are very happy to see that landing into our platform right now. So another great feature is nested virtualization support for Windows 365. As I said, just released yesterday. Public documentation is available on our docs page. And if you go to windows365.microsoft.com and log on with your 8-core license, 32 gig of RAM, you now have, once you provision your Cloud PC after like yesterday, or reprovision if you had one before, you have nested virtualization available inside your Cloud PC. So you can run Linux, Windows subsystem for Linux, or Android, or Hyper-V, or Sandbox, or any other container technology that requires nested virtualization from within your Cloud PC. So here you see an example of me using Ubuntu. So you can use Ubuntu to do like development workloads, changes, edits, whatever you do in a Linux container, you can now do as well in a Cloud PC. So it exceeds the developer kind of scenario use cases that you can do and provide with Windows 365. So starting with the 8-core license, and we are working on getting it done for the 4-core license as well. So another great enhancement is the public preview of Teams offloading support for macOS. So right now, if you download the beta client of the remote desktop client for Mac, you will see this enable optimization for Microsoft Teams in a preview. And if you enable this, then the peer-to-peer offloading of Teams from within your Cloud PC back to your own, like local on-prem location, your local endpoint, or your home office, will just work and goes peer-to-peer. And you see that media optimized option enabled inside Teams. And that allows you to do that like back and forth communication for Teams, but the calls, the video renders to the local endpoint. So you have the same kind of video experience as you have on a local Teams version on a physical PC. So another great feature that we announced is Microsoft Lighthouse support for Windows 365. So what is Microsoft Lighthouse? Microsoft Lighthouse is the MSP multi-tenant support console for partners that like maintain multiple customer locations or multiple customer tenants at the same time. So for example, you're a partner and you maintain like 100 like customers at the same time. You can now use the Microsoft 365 Lighthouse portal to see all those customers as well as manage their environments all at the same time in a multi-tenant like approach via one single pane of glass, which is the lighthouse.microsoft.com portal. So you see the customers in this tenant that are the ones that are shared with this like partner. And you can look up like Contoso as an example. And in there, if that's a customer uses Windows 365, you can see all the users as well as the Cloud PCs, and as well manage and maintain that. So you can click on that, and then it goes directly to that Microsoft Endpoint Manager console, and then you can do all the management all from a multi-tenancy perspective. So that's new, and this is for Windows 365 Enterprise, and Business is currently being worked on and ships very soon as well. So I think this is great because this has never been done before from a virtualization perspective to allow businesses to do multi-tenancy management for customers, for Cloud PCs, for example. And more features and more services will be added. So you see threat management, protection, for example, for the vendor, and you will see more services landing in this console as well. So another great feature we are currently working on is alert rules, meaning that in Endpoint Analytics, you will see soon the option to create custom alerts and metrics. So if there's something happening in your environment in Endpoint Analytics, for example, your Cloud PC provisioning of your cloud PC went wrong, you can send a message to the IT admin that something went wrong and they have to check it, or you can do automated kind of actions based on that as well. So all kinds of features to just make the reactiveness as well as proactiveness of your cloud PC management, monitoring and such easier for the IT admin. So that's coming soon, and here's how you can configure that. So you see kind of the condition, the rules, and what are the components you want to monitor, and how do you want to send? Do you want to send by email, SMS, or something like that? So all kinds of great enhancements. And other great enhancements are that you see on the screen here. So in Endpoint Analytics, as well as in the devices menu in MEM, you will see in the overview dashboard of a specific Cloud PC user, as well all those metrics popping up for Cloud PC. So you see, for example, the virtual OS that's being used, what is the physical OS, like what's the endpoint being used, the usage, the round trip time of the protocol, all integrated inside MEM, very familiar for physical PCs. However, now optimized more for an easy dashboard experience if you want to do some monitoring from within MEM too. So very exciting. And what's even more exciting is the Windows integration features we announced this week. So I have privilege, or I've been very pleased to.
Sorry, Christiaan, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it seems like you have some connectivity issues. You keep dropping in and out.
Okay.
So just want to let you know.
Okay, that's strange. Everything goes smoothly here, so that must be a network connection issue then. Is it better now, or is it still very bad? I
think right now it's great. So let's try and continue.
Okay, let's see what we can do. What I just said is great, but what is even better and even more awesome is the Windows integration that we are building currently as part of a team within Windows, and as well our own team as part of Windows 11, having Windows 365 integrated into the operating system. And that's really to continue to deliver on our promise that I shared in the beginning of the presentation, that Windows 365 is a SaaS solution. And just like apps were brought to the cloud, we're now bringing the Windows operating system to the cloud. And one of the new quotes that Satya shared during the event is, we're removing limits on how and where you work with Windows 11 and Windows 365. Together, they bring the power of Azure computing to Windows computers. And this really describes how the physical PC and the cloud PC are merging more together to provide that seamless experience from both the IT admin as well as the end user experience. And we do that with 4 new features that we announced this week. And we will have more and more of those integrations coming soon as well to be announced. So the first one is the Windows 365 app. So it's a native Windows 11 app experience inside the operating system. So you don't have to download and install it yourself. It will be there in the operating system. Then you have Windows 365 Boot. It's a new experience that directly boots into your cloud PC from the logon screen of Windows, optimized for shared devices. So it's a very straightforward and easy experience that after you log on with your username and password, goes directly into your cloud PC. Windows 365 Switch, meaning the integration of Windows 365 inside the Windows shell, meaning that if you use the task view integration that you are familiar with on the start menu button next to the search button on Windows 11, you will see on the right side Cloud PC, and if you click on that, you can connect and boot straight up into your Cloud PC without any user interaction in between. And then a more future-looking demo is around Windows 365 offline, meaning that you can work offline from your Cloud PC. So if you board a plane and you come back and you have internet connection again, your data will synchronize back from the Cloud PC to your local PC and then back to your Cloud PC when the connection is recovered. So very very great features that exactly addresses the need for where customers want to be today and as well in the future as part of Windows 365. So let's start with the first demo. So Windows 365 app is the new native app experience that we will ship soon to the outside. And I will show you here how that looks. So from the start menu, you will see Windows 365. So all built into Windows. And the first run experience that you see on the screen here, showing what the benefits are of Windows 365, how you can use the app, and what are the identical features to Windows 365, as well as the switch experience. And once you're in the connection center, you see the same kind of experience you're familiar with as you are familiar with the web portal experience. So we will consistently provide that same experience across web, Windows, and in the future coming Android and Mac, of course, too. So once you're in, it's the same full screen experience with the redirection for Teams, multimedia redirection, Zoom, Cisco WebEx. It's all supported as well once this ships. Then we have the Windows 365 switch feature, and personally, this is the one that I like the most. And within this experience, you can switch from your personal local PC, where you do like some personal private work, as you can see on the screen here. You can switch from the task view integration that you see on the taskbar directly to your cloud PC on the right side. And then you log on directly or connect directly to your cloud PC. And in your cloud PC, you do corporate work, like working in office, and then go back to the same task view in the cloud PC and then switch back to your local PC. And that round-tripping experience, going back and forth to corporate as well as to local personal, is something that is identical and unique to Windows 365 that we will ship soon as well to the outside world. So I'm very glad to be able to publicly speak about this feature as well. And we received great feedback so far from like MVPs as well as from like customers as well as like large tech like blog websites on all those features after we announced them on Tuesday. So Windows 365 Boot is the other feature, and with Windows 365 Boot we make it possible to boot directly into your cloud PC from your local endpoint that is purposely built to connect to Windows 365 for lower cost. So you can log on with Windows Hello for Business, and then you have the single sign-on experience into your cloud PC, and then you can continue where you left off. And that purpose-built device would be a lightweight device that is cheaper than a normal laptop to make it easier for businesses to justify the cost of licenses for Windows 365. And then the last demo is Windows 365 offline mode, meaning that you can go work offline if you depart a plane. So for example, you work from a cloud PC, you depart a plane, your internet connection is lost because you fly up into the clouds. And then the cloud PC will go offline, and then you will defer back to your local PC. The state will be synchronized. And then once you're back on the location of your destination, and you have Wi-Fi connection again, you can go online again, and then you revert the changes back to your cloud PC, and then you can continue where you left off from within your cloud PC environment. So this is all very unique, and as well something that will not ship in the next 6 months or so, or 12 months. We are working hard on this, and this is more a future-looking demo, but it's definitely not an if, but a when question. So you will see that more in future events, and once we have a data or day or timeline to share, then we will of course do that. So with that, I'm at the last slide of my presentation. So before I left or open up for questions, I wrote a book together with Per Larsen. He spoke as well today, if I'm not mistaken, around mastering Microsoft Endpoint Manager. And if you haven't bought this book already, I can provide you a free 20% discount if you purchase it via the PAC website. That's a really deep dive book into the world of Microsoft Endpoint Manager as well as Windows 365 and how you can maintain a cloud PC as well as a physical PC. And yeah, the amount of books that like sold has been amazing so far. So I think the count is currently at like 3,500 or so. So thanks all for the support. If you bought one of the books before, and I also want to give away a free book to somebody. So I think we can open up for questions. And with that, I will share a sort of question. And if you know the answer to that question, type it into the chat, and then I will make sure that you will get a free book. So let's do this question. So what's the amount of licenses? The target licenses, the maximum amount for Windows 365 Business. If you type in the right number right now, we will make sure that we ship one free book to you. And then you can send the address to either Soon or to myself on social media or via the chat, but maybe for privacy reasons, you probably don't want to do that. So Soon.
And Christiaan, you just exploded the chat.
Sorry about that. So are there any questions, Soon, or did you do a great job already to answer them directly?
Actually, we have a few questions, and I don't know if I pronounced the name correct, but I'll try. We have a question from someone called, his name is, or her name is Nancy Saran, I think it is. So the question is, Windows 365 Cloud PC, does it support Windows Hello for Business to log in with PIN or biometrics?
Yeah, it's a good question. So PIN is supported if you use the Windows client. So if you use the currently remote desktop client, in the future, the Windows 365 app, it works with PIN. Biometric, I'm not sure. I need to follow up on that.
Okay. Yes, provided another question. Windows 365 boot applies to multiple user sign-ins or logins.
Yeah, that's correct. So you can do that on a device basis, meaning that your device can be sitting on a desk and different users can log on to that same device to log on to their cloud PC.
We have a question from someone called Ryan. Will the demonstrated Windows 365 Cloud PC monitoring and alerts in MEM also be made available for AVD deployments?
That's a good question. Currently, there are no plans to do that for AVD as well.
And we have a question from Anne. Does Microsoft Teams has the pop-out functionality, so to being able to present and have a chat besides this?
Yeah, so that's the multi-window feature. So that's currently in an internal ring for Teams, I think R1. So that's coming very soon as well, available for public-facing production customers. So,
and we have two more questions. One from Richie. Is it possible to install Configuration Manager agent in a Windows 365 Cloud PC?
Yeah, the answer to that is yes, you can do that.
And the final questions, as for now, is from Michael. What will be the future, Windows 365 or AVD? Excellent question.
Well, the difference between Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop is really around the service model and as well the kind of responsibility to the service, where Windows 365 is a SaaS solution. Azure Virtual Desktop is a PaaS, platform as a service solution. So you get the control plane, the brokering, and the possibility to log on, but everything you leverage on Azure, like the compute, the VM, monitoring, end user computing or end user management, UAM, profile management, those kind of things are all your own responsibility. So you are responsible for configuring that as well as maintaining that. And yeah, that is something that you need to decide whether you want to do that or not. And the flexibility you have with Azure Virtual Desktop, so some of the components you can do configure and pick yourself by choice, and perhaps leverage partner solutions. That's something you can do less with Windows 365, but that's something some customers prefer, to have sort of a more end-to-end solution where they have an SLA with Microsoft and just purchase a license that you do, as well as for Exchange Online or Office 365, and then after that you're good to go and just can connect from any device to your cloud PC. So there's a more comprehensive list of the changes and the differences between those two solutions. If you go to aka.ms/learning W365, then you can find a deck in there in that list that points out the two different solutions and sort of what you can achieve with one of the two.
Awesome. And I think that our time is almost up now. So
let's make sure we pick the winner.
Sure.
I think Todd Erickson was the first one. He had it right. So 300 is right. 1 user to 300 is the target for business. So Todd, if you can send over the address to me on LinkedIn, then I will make sure that you get your book shipped. So
and it's a very great book. I purchased it when it was first published, so I can say that's a great book. I think it's time to wrap up, Christiaan. So thank you very much for this great session. It's really mind-blowing with all these new features coming to Windows 365. Especially, I'm excited about the Windows 365 boot and the offline features, as well as the switching part and all of that. So, do you have anything else to add at this point?
No, nothing. I see some jokes in the chat about oranje boven. That's a Dutch thing. I wear my Dutch soccer T-shirt here, so we do pretty good in soccer. So that's great. So I'm representing my own country here from the Redmond area.
Awesome.
So,
and guys, we are really sorry about the bad connectivity that we have experienced in this session. Yes, I think that's it. In case you want to review this session or one of our other great sessions that we have had today, you can go to the auditorium and select a session you wish to watch. Coming up is our final session of the day. In room number 1, you can see a session about automating third-party application management in Configuration Manager in Intune. And room number 3, you can see a session about the roadmap for MEM. Join us and learn what will be next in MEM. So thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thanks, bye.